Salut! For French people, the English language is always cool. That's why we like to borrow as many words as possible. However, we didn't always really know what they mean in the first place or how to use them correctly. So they became des faux amis, false cognates, or rather, des faux anglicismes, false anglicism. Well, you can even call them des franglicismes if you want, but that's not very correct. Anyway, by now they're so widely accepted by everyone and it's too late to correct our original mistakes. So you have to learn them or you might get really confused. Which words am I talking about? Can you guess what French people really mean when they use these words? Let's find out right now. I'm Géraldine, bienvenue sur Comme une Française TV, sound French even to the French. Le catch. Le catch is how the French call a particular sports/entertainment, pro wrestling. It comes from the English verb to catch, but it has nothing to do with the children's game of throwing and catching a football. Mon père et moi, on adore le catch. Mon père et moi, on adore le catch. On le regarde tous les samedis à la télé. On le regarde tous les samedis à la télé. With my dad, we love wrestling. We watch it every Saturday on TV. Wrestling actually used to be pretty big in France in the 50s and 60s with its own rules and federation and special traditions, as well as big stars such as L'Ange Blanc, literally, the white angel, who was a sort of French El Santo. Le scotch in France is almost always used to mean scotch tape or any kind of ruban adhésif, adhesive tape. In the right context and with the right people, you can use it to mean Scotch whiskey as well, but otherwise, just ask for du whisky. Tu n'as pas de scotch dans ton tiroir, mais comment tu fais pour travailler ici? Tu n'as pas de scotch dans ton tiroir, mais comment tu fais pour travailler ici? You don't have any adhesive tape in your drawer? How do you work here? Un scratch is a very common French way to say du Velcro. It comes from the onomatopoeia and the English verb, but that's all the connection there is. It's a curious situation. Velcro was invented by a Swiss guy who created his product's name by using a combination of the French words velours and crochet. This translates literally into velvet and hooks as a good description of these hooks and loops fastener. You can find une fermeture à scratch, a Velcro fastener, on a lot of stuff. The most emblematic being les chaussures à scratch or Velcro shoes for children or even adults and the elderly. We also use scratch for the musical scratching in pretty much the same way as the English language for spinning vinyls. Un pins is a lapel pin. It used to be popular in the 90s and might come back one day, who knows? The French official translation is une épinglette, but I've never heard anyone use something else than un pins when talking about that small jacket decoration. We also use un badge for a button, a round badge you can wear pinned on your bag or jacket. Tu m'échanges ton badge contre deux pins? Do you want to trade your badge for my 2 lapel pins? Les warnings, I know it's a weird pronunciation, is French for hazard warning lights or hazard lights in a car or a vehicle. The official translation is les feux de détresse or distress lights, but that's more unusual in common conversation. Technically, les warnings are both of les clignotants, the turn signals, blinking at the same time. By the way, the French translation for the English word a warning is un avertissement. Madame, juste pour avertissement, vous avez laissé vos warnings allumés. Madame, juste pour avertissement, vous avez laissé vos warnings allumés. Madame, just to warn you, you have left your hazard lights on. There are lots of other borrowed English words when we talk about cars as well. For instance, the noun l'avertisseur sonore, the car horn, is rarely used. In practice, we almost always use the word le klaxon, instead, based on the name of the English brand who used to make them. Un baby-foot is the French name for table football or foosball, the tabletop game loosely based on soccer. It has nothing to do with un pied de bébé, literally a baby's foot. It's a popular way to let off some steam between friends and even co-workers. La soirée s'est bien passée, mais on a cassé le baby-foot. La soirée s'est bien passée, mais on a cassé le baby-foot. The party went great, but we broke the foosball table. Where there's un baby-foot, you might also find un flipper. Un flipper. It's French for a pinball machine, and a homophone of the French verb flipper. Flipper, a colloquial way to mean avoir peur. Avoir peur, to fear. For instance, vous avez cassé le flipper aussi? Ouf, non, juste le baby-foot, j'ai flippé. Vous avez cassé le flipper aussi? Ouf, non, juste le baby-foot, j'ai flippé. Did you break the pinball machine as well? Oh, the foosball table only. I was afraid for a moment. In French, un brushing is a blow dry for your hair. Technically, it should be called une mise en forme, but that's very unusual. Or even un thermobrossage, but that's never ever used at all. So we stuck with a borrowed word. By the way, a brush is une brosse, the tool you need for se brosser les cheveux, to brush your hair. Similarly, j'ai une brosse à dents pour me brosser les dents. J'ai une brosse à dents pour me brosser les dents. I use a toothbrush to brush my teeth. Et toi, which other words does the French language borrow incorrectly? Tell me in the comment section in French if you dare. I would love to hear from you. And that's good practice for your French every week. If you're on YouTube, you will find a link below this video to the blog communefrancaise.com. On the site, I read all the comments and answer all your questions as well. Once more, like an exclusive lesson on how to use grocery lists and day-to-day tricks to improve your French, subscribe now to join my everyday French crash course. It's a free 10-day mini course to sound French even to the French. It's super easy to join. Leave me your first name and email and you will receive lesson 1 immediately. Best of all, it's all free. Merci for watching Comme une Française TV, sound French even to the French. Allez, salut!